We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Habits are compound interest of self-improvement. If you can get better by just 1% every day, you will end up with results that are nearly 37% better by the end of the year. If you are someone who feel that you are meant for more and want to achieve massive results, but you have no idea how to start and get there, then this video is definitely for you. So I was one of those guys who used to rely heavily on motivation. If I feel motivated, I would work for longer hours. If I feel motivated, I would go to gym. If not, you guessed it right, I would not just show up. I don't want to brag about myself, but you see, I read countless books on self-help. But when I came across this book, Atomic Habits, my perspectives have changed completely. I believe this is arguably one of the best books written on self-help, as it talks about the most important tool that helps us in shaping our lives: habits. Most importantly, this book provides practical step-by-step methods to form those habits. So without any further delay, let's dive in. Tiny changes makes a big difference. You see, we often neglect the power of small improvements as the results are not visible. But small improvements compounded over time produces massive results. The way money multiplies through compound interest, the same way the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. For example, if you want to form a habit of writing a journal and improve yourself by 1% every day, by the end of the year you would have improved by 37% as a result of your habits compounding. Similarly, 1% worse every day for 1 year will take you down substantially. One of the biggest problems is we expect our progress to be linear and hope to get the results quickly. But unfortunately, it is until months or years later we start to see the results. This long period of time when the results are not visible, it is also the time of disappointment, and most of us tend to give up in this time period. As a matter of fact, although your results were not visible, that does not mean that your work was wasted. In fact, it was stored, and it's just a matter of time that all your previous efforts are revealed. For example, imagine an ice cube sitting on a table. The room is cold, but now you increase the temperature by 1 degree, 26 degree, 27, 28. The ice is still the same. It is at 32 degrees centigrade, you see the ice begin to melt. Just 1 degree shift and you get to see such a huge change. Let's try to understand the science of habit formation. You see, habits are formed through 4 stages in the same order: cue, craving, response, reward. Cue is the indication that our brain receives to initiate an action. It is the bit of information that predicts the reward. Craving, it is the second step. It is the motivational force behind every habit. Without some kind of motivation or desire, you have no reason to act. Third step is the response. It is the action we take to perform the habit. Finally, the response delivers a reward, and it is the end goal of every habit. Let's take an example of how you form a bad habit. You smell a KFC shop as you walk down the street. That's the cue. You begin to crave for the fried chicken, that's the craving. You buy the KFC chicken, that's the response. Finally, your reward. You satisfy your craving by eating the KFC chicken. Here are the 4 laws of forming good habits. First, cue. Make it obvious. Anything that can lead you to form bad habits, keep them out of sight. And anything that can help you to form good habits, keep them at your sight. Let's say you want to play guitar more often. In that case, keep the guitar at your sight in the middle of the living room. You want to journal before going to bed? Keep a notebook and pen right next to the bed. You want to drink more water? Fill up the water bottles and place it in all the common locations around the house. The second law, craving, make it attractive. You see, habits are dopamine-driven feedback loop. For those of you who don't know, dopamine is a feel-good hormone in our body, and it is released when we experience pleasure. Every behavior that is highly habit-forming, like watching Netflix, browsing social media, eating junk food, playing video games, are all associated with higher levels of dopamine. So we can use dopamine temptation to make our habits more attractive. This is called habit stacking plus temptation bundling. Let's say you want to watch Netflix, but you need to write your journal. So you can make your habit attractive by doing it this way. Once I write 4 pages of my journal, which is what I need, Then I can watch Netflix, which is what I want. Once I work out and eat healthy for 4 days in a row, which is what I need, then I can eat KFC chicken as a cheat meal, which is what I want. Another way to make your habits attractive is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. For example, if you are surrounded by fit people, you would consider working out to be a common habit. If you are surrounded by guitar lovers, you are more likely to believe that it's reasonable to play guitar every day. Third law, make it easy. To make your habits easier, you need to reduce the friction and resistance as much as possible. That is why 2 minutes rule. Any habit can be scaled down to 2-minute version. Read before bed every night becomes just read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes just take out my yoga mat. Work out for 30 minutes just becomes tie my sports shoes. Over time, you can slowly compound your habits without any resistance. From reading 1 page to reading many more pages. From taking out yoga mat to 5 minutes of stretching to do 30 minutes of intense yoga. From tying your sports shoes to 5 minutes of warm-up to 30 minutes of intense heavyweight workout. The fourth law, reward. Make it satisfying. You want your habit to be satisfying. The best approach is to use reinforcement, which means the use of immediate rewards to increase the rate of repetition of the habit. For example, let's say you want to stop eating outside food and you want to start cooking your own homemade food. The solution is open a savings account and level it to something you want, let's say iPhone. So every time you skip going out for dinner, you transfer $40 or $50, how much ever you spend for dinner, to that savings account. It is like a loyalty program for yourself. The immediate reward of seeing the money being saved for iPhone feels much better than nothing. So after a couple of months, you have enough money saved for your iPhone, and plus you get to eat healthy at home. You can also use a habit tracker to make your habit satisfying, like a Fitbit watch. It will show you how many steps you have taken each day, how many calories you have burnt each day. You can also use a manual approach by putting a cross on the calendar every day you have worked out or performed other tasks. Habit tracker provides a visual proof of your hard work and a gentle reminder of how far you have come. Changing our habits are challenging for 2 main reasons. One, we try to change the wrong thing, and secondly, we try to change our habits in the wrong way. Imagine these 3 layers like onion. The inside layer is changing your identity. This level is concerned about changing your beliefs, your worldwide view, your self-image, the way you judge yourselves and others. Most of the beliefs and assumptions you hold are associated to this level. The second layer is changing your process. This level is concerned with changing your habits and systems, implementing a new routine for workout, arranging your workspace for better workflow, developing a meditation practice. Most of the habits that you built are associated with this level. The outermost layer is changing your outcomes. This level is concerned about changing your results, losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship. Most of the goals that you set are associated with this level. Most of the people begin the process of changing their habits by focusing on what they want to achieve. This leads us to outcome-based habits. So let's say you want to lose weight. So you start thinking about losing weight and then you go to the gym. The problem with outcome-based habits is you might lose weight temporarily, but after a certain point of time, you might gain weight back again. That is the reason why we need to form identity-based habits. In this case, you focus first on the identity rather than the outcome. So you make your identity as an athlete rather than focusing on the outcome of losing weight, and then you start the workout. In this way, you can form long-lasting habits. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. Thank you guys. If you find this informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.